Hello and welcome back. Thank you, as always, for joining me today. Let's have one of these conversations where we're invited to examine our own motivation. I know. It's been a theme lately, and it often comes up in these discussions that spirituality is for grown-ups. We could try, and we have, to run and hide from that, but it remains true. It's for grown-ups. It involves our taking adult responsibility for our experience, all of it, all of it, which, when you think about it, is something that we're incredibly reluctant to do. We often prefer to see that the world is coming at us and play the victim of it. We bemoan circumstances that go on in the world beyond our control and blame those circumstances for our lack of mental peace. It's the government's fault. It's the economy's fault. It's my boss's fault. It's my ex's fault. And so on and so on. We all know deep down that we don't have to continue to make that choice, and you do not. Spirituality is about looking at our experience, all of it, including the things that we would prefer not to deal with. We all have them. These things that we prefer to keep hidden, that we want to cast off and deal with later. Mañana, mañana. In the colloquial sense of the word mañana, which of course means tomorrow in Spanish. Yeah, in practice, that means, mañana, mañana. At some indefinite date in the future, maybe. Mañana. When? No sé. Mañana. And we play that card with ourselves when we stubbornly and willfully refuse to take responsibility for our experience. And in this course, as in all spirituality, really, when you think about it, we're invited to do that because that's what it's about. So it has come up quite a bit that our resistance to truth is extraordinary and it must be looked at, which is why we're talking about it yet again. And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, didn't we just talk about this in the last video? Well, yes. And the one before that. And it seems like the past several. And this, of course, is a theme that frequently pops up. Well, we clearly need to have it pop up again. And there is a reason why you're here today, as there always is, in the midst of all of this other content on this one platform alone, which is huge. It's the largest social media platform in the world, YouTube. And that is only a fraction of the content that's out there on the broader internet. And here you are. You're interested in this course. There's a reason for that. So during the course of the next several minutes, perhaps I've already said something that really speaks to you. You recognize those ideas, don't you? I mean, you recognize it. We all do. When something lands or connects for us, or maybe hits us like a ton of bricks, like a lead weight, and grabs our attention, that's the Holy Spirit. It is. It's our inner teacher, and you may certainly count on the fact that whenever something lands, whether it is viewed with consternation, disbelief, shock, or profound relief, joy, and gratitude, it's the Holy Spirit communicating with you. It's not pixelated image on your screen. This. And there's nothing special about the images that you see on your screen. What's important is the fact that you're here paying attention. That's what's important. So we're examining our motive today because here's something that we'd prefer not to hear. Too bad, right? Welcome to A Course in Miracles. I mean, if we really perceived our brother's interests, his attainment of peace, his peace as our own, if we really truly saw someone else's happiness as our happiness, I mean, if we really, really got it and saw that our brother's happiness is our happiness. It's not like our happiness. It's not similar. It is our happiness. If we really saw that, wouldn't we want to help him get it? Wouldn't we want to help him? I mean, really, if you really got it, wouldn't you do everything that you possibly could to make sure he was at peace? Because you're at peace. I mean, wouldn't you help? I mean, I think that it's very easy in this context for us to say, yes, of course I would. But in practice, we withhold that. We withhold love. And what happens then? We suffer endlessly, again and again, maybe a different outward form today, but still the same lack of peace. It's because we chose to withhold forgiveness. It's because we chose to withhold love and keep it to ourselves, to hoard it, in other words. It's as though we're saying, yeah, I'm going to continue to see you as separate, and I'm going to continue to see myself as separate from you. Oh, and better than you, of course. So I'm just going to keep this love that I was going to give to you. I'm just going to stuff it away over here. I'm going to hoard it. I'm going to hang on to it. And you can go do life. Bye. I mean, we may not use those exact words, but that's exactly what's going on in our mind when we withhold love. So what happens then? What happens when you try to keep something to yourself? You try to keep love to yourself, you've lost it instantly. When you decide that you're going to withhold it, you've lost it. You don't have it anymore. Why? Love is total. What happens when you hoard something? Well, first of all, you become instantly defensive. You want to protect this hoarded item because you value it so much that you don't want to share. What you keep, you lose. You heard that right. The world operates differently, but this course is not of this world. There is no world. Central teaching, welcome. What you keep, you lose. Keep love to yourself, you don't have it. Why? You want to defend your precious prize, whatever form that may take, and you construct elaborate defenses. Doesn't mean you have to wall yourself off or anything like that. It's all done in our mind, and we defend this treasure of ours, our exclusive treasure, against all comers, terrified, paranoid, and afraid that our brother's going to get it and take it from us. And we go even further, which is even more harmful to our peace of mind, when we think that, okay, well, I've got this thing. I stole it from my brother. I took it from him, and he is without. I have it, and I've triumphed over him. I'm better than he is. I'm better than she is. I'm cooler than they are. I'm stronger. I'm richer. I'm better looking. I have more powerful friends and allies. I've got nicer clothes and a nicer house and a big old car and a boat. Oops, somebody just dented my car in the parking lot. Uh-oh. I'm still cooler than they are. And that's the way that we think, unflattering as it may seem. And I hope it does seem unflattering. It's meant to, yeah, because we're taking an adult look at our entire experience. This is something very, very important for us to realize, that when we attempt to keep something to ourselves, it is gone in our mind. We attempt to keep it to ourselves, we have lost it. So, how do we keep it in our mind? How do we keep it? We share it. We share it to keep it in our mind. Share love. Extend love to your brother. What happens? You keep it in your mind. You're not missing love by giving it away. It is strengthened in your brother's mind, in your own mind. It's the same mind. It is strengthened. You give something away to keep it. When you hoard it to yourself, you have lost it. The instant you decide to withhold love and hoard it. And what happens when we're hoarding stuff? I mean, first of all, we just talked about the fact that we all get defensive and think our brother's going to take our stuff, so we better preemptively strike or construct an elaborate defense. And we still feel a lack, don't we? Yes, when we're honest, we do. We want more. What little we've managed to hoard and stuff away and keep for ourselves exclusively is not enough. We must get more. This deep sense of lack is still there. Sense of separation, of lack, of suffering, it's still there when we keep things to ourselves. So we're invited to give love. This course is all about the mind. So no one's saying give away all of your money. No, because here in the world we have needs. This course does not aim for us to, well, manifest certain things on the level of form in the world. This course has nothing to do with form or bodies or big houses or bank accounts or cars or fine threads, social status and prestige, the deep admiration of our peers. None of that. This course is a course in mind training. It's not a course about trying to secure a more happy, richer, better, sexier, hotter, peaceful dream. It's about waking up from the dream completely. It looks right past all of the drama of the physical world. So, in this world where we appear to be, and we certainly appear to be these little devices over here, I mean, we do. So, we live life. You do what you normally do, but you look at it differently. That's the point. You don't have to see things upside down and backwards. If somebody needs help and assistance on the level of form, you help them. You don't preach to them saying, you're seeing this completely upside down and backwards. This is a dream. So that need that you have, yeah, it's not real. Well, of course it isn't, but what we do is we live our normal life. And if someone needs help and we're in a position to help, we help. Quite simple. We don't have to see it the same way in our own mind. Because here's the deal. Quite clearly and obviously, not everybody in the world is practicing this course. It is one of a multitude of spiritual traditions that exist here in the world. So not everybody's into it. I mean, and you really think they're gonna be into it right now at this point? There is no world. Who's ready to hear that today? Are you? You're not a body, which you know, but this course says it multiple times. By there is no world, it's meant that God is the only reality. You're perfectly at home in God where you've always been. Same with all of us. There is no separation of any kind. We're not separate from God, and we're not separate from our brother at all. So, I mean, there are billions of people in the world that aren't ready to hear that. But you are. So, what we do here as students of this course is we work on our own mind, our own perception. We do it under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, and we do as suggested, we do as directed. And if we're directed to live our normal lives and help people on the level of form as we're able, do it. Doesn't mean you have to believe in its reality. And when you begin to see it this way, it's very different. It's a game changer that cannot really be described in words very well. It must be experienced. Happily, we can all have this experience. I mean, we want to oppose, and people oppose this course because it's a teaching that you and your brother are the same, one. And you may not be ready to believe that. You might not be willing to listen to that. And you might wish to chastise pixelated image on your screen. Remember, if you do, it's you're chastising an assemblage of electronic dots. Now that is a message that applies to each and every one of our brothers. When we withhold love, who are we withholding it from? Ourselves. And, and very importantly, when we extend love, when we forgive, who are we forgiving? Who are we loving on? Exactly. Ourselves. What would you rather have? It's up to you, adult responsibility. It's up to our choice, our own power of decision, which is very profound. Right now, in the present moment, chose the ego last night, choose the Holy Spirit now. chose the ego 15 seconds ago, choose the Holy Spirit right now. We have the present moment, all of us. And if you find yourself opposing the ideas in this course, expect that on the path. That is the ego that resists always. And well, the course says what it says, so these videos say what the course says. I mean, that's kind of how that works. This course is not about effecting change on the level of form, on the level of bodies or bank accounts, or really, really wonderful travel experiences or anything like that. If that's what you're into, there's a lot of it out there. Not a problem, right? Not a problem at all. We are free to deny with this power of decision. We could decide that we would rather go off and withhold love and suffer. You can decide that. And at some future point, you'll be back deciding to extend love again. And whether that's studying and practicing this course or another tradition doesn't really matter at all. We have this power, and you're watching this right here. So as long as we see our brother as different, we're not at peace because we'll want to keep things to ourselves, hoard them, define and defend our own precious personal territory, which is a complete illusion, as there is no separation of any kind, but we'll want there to be, so we'll exert tremendous effort in our mind to make it so. Tremendous strain that leaves us bitter and exhausted, looking for answers on the spiritual path in the first place. And you may well return to that. We have a choice to follow the direction of the Holy Spirit or the ego. And that's, it's a choice of God or the ego, love or fear, truth or illusion, life or death. Think about that one. You know, we have this choice that you can exercise this choice. You get to right now. And no one will take that from you. And Jesus won't force you. The Holy Spirit won't force you. We have to make this choice of our own election, our own free will. Because as stubborn adult learners, what happens when somebody tells you the way something's got to be? How likely are you to go along with that? Exactly. We've got to make the decision ourselves. Ready? All right. So, some profound stuff, as always. And I thank you very much for taking the time out of your day, your busy evening, to be right here and to listen to the message of our inner teacher. And, well, the Holy Spirit is patient. The Holy Spirit is certain, kind, loving, and doesn't force us. So we allow ourselves to be led as far as we're able to go on a given day. Or you could say, as far as we're willing to allow ourselves to be led on a given day, and then we get up tomorrow and we do the same thing. Rinse, repeat. After you've done it for a while and really honestly done it, you'll never see things the same again. If you've been doing it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know you're ready for that because you're still here. So, questions are more than welcome. If you've got them, please leave them here. This is a very good place for them, the comment thread on YouTube. And if you have not yet subscribed and joined us, we'd love to have you. That's the prompt over here. That's that arrow, the icon over there in the corner of your screen. Click that, you'll be invited to join us, and we have several videos appearing here each week. Okay, thank you as always for tuning in, and I will talk to you soon.